观众朋友，大家好，欢迎收看本期的最佳方案。在上期节目中啊，我们给大家介绍了被称作为营养之王的小球藻这种奇妙的单细胞植物，它也是过去20多年中呢世界上最长寿的国家日本销量最大的保健品。今天呢，我们为大家请到2位杰出的医学家，一位呢是美国营养医学的先驱罗森堡医生，另一位呢是美国先进医学中心的创始人兼主任卓克医师，来为大家介绍小球藻的另一个特别重要的功效——排毒。首先呢，我们来了解一下为什么今天的人特别需要排毒。
So we live in what we call a toxic world, and it's become much more toxic in the last 100 years as part of the Industrial Revolution. We're exposed to toxic heavy metals. In fact, that's why our cars now burn unleaded gasoline, because the government recognized that air pollution was becoming very toxic when cars burned leaded gasoline and we were all breathing the lead. We still are breathing other toxic heavy metals. We're exposed to a tremendous number of chemical toxins, PCBs, dioxins, polyvinyl chlorides, plastics. These were never meant to really be in our bodies, and they've expanded so rapidly over the last 100 years that our bodies really have not had a chance to adjust. So it's a big part of why people don't feel well.
There's a new heavy metal that has just been discovered to be in food that is called thallium, that is found in a lot of crucifer foods like broccoli and kale and whatnot. So a lot of these heavy metals can cause fatigue. Cadmium causes high blood pressure. The problem is, and recently within the past few years, it has been discovered that even if you eat well, you can be eating a lot of these poisons. Why? Why? Because it has been discovered in the last few years. For instance, rice, even brown rice. And in China, you eat a lot of rice. Rice contains arsenic. And all rice contains arsenic because the rice has an ability to take in the arsenic. So arsenic is a potential carcinogen. It can cause cancer. What else? A few years ago, we all learned about how wonderful chocolate is to eat, and cocoa and things of that sort. Very health-promoting food, loaded with antioxidants. Well, about a year ago, it was reported that cocoa, even organic cocoa, contains a lot of cadmium. Cadmium is a poison. It causes high blood pressure and kidney disease. A study that I did recently showed that kale contains a lot of thallium in it. And thallium was used by Saddam Hussein in Iraq as a way of getting rid of people, of killing people. And it's odorless and it's tasteless, and you eat it and you don't even know that it's there. So the point that I'm making is that even if we're as careful as we think we can be, and we're eating good foods that even are organic, we're still exposed to a lot of toxins, especially heavy metal toxins. Fish and mercury. So the United States government now issued a warning to pregnant women not to consume more than 1 serving of fish a week because of the mercury. And the mercury is a major toxin. And even if you're eating good, high-quality fish, now it's mostly present in the large fish, not in the very small fish, but it is present in a lot of fish. We accumulate poisons and toxins as we get older. And these poisons tend to, we call it bioaccumulate. They get higher and higher and higher as we get older. And these poisons get stored in our organs and in our body fat. So the more body fat you have, the more poison you can have in your body. But the poisons also get stored in parts of your body that have a lot of fat in them. Now, what part of your body has the most fat in it, besides this? It's the brain. The brain is 60% fat. Yes. So that is why a lot of poisons go right into the brain, and they stay there. And then they're released little by little by little over time. Well, the more poison you have in you, the more susceptible you are to becoming ill. Because these poisons not only make you feel tired, but they reduce immunity. They're dangerous to the immune system. And immunity goes down as we get older anyway. But when we have toxins in us, immunity goes down even faster.
When I work with patients, I teach them the first two elements of either staying healthy or restoring your health. Number one is avoiding poisons and eliminating the toxins or poisons that your body has accumulated. So for example, if someone doesn't have access to food, you can survive weeks, perhaps months without eating. When you're exposed to a toxin, it can be devastating instantaneous. So in one instant, you can get enough of a toxin to actually die, destroy your health.
原来呢，我以为有毒的食品问题啊，是不是只在中国呢特别严重？没想到呢，在西方医生的眼中呢，有毒有害的食品问题已经是一个世界性的危机。那么小球藻与此又有什么样的关系呢？
Chlorella both nourishes and cleanses. Nourishes and cleanses. It's one of the only foods, and maybe the only food I know of, that does both. So we've already talked about how nourishing it is. How does it cleanse you? And cleansing is a very important part of preventive health care. We now know that a lot of these toxins are carcinogens, which means that they can cause cancer. So that's one very important reason that we need to cleanse. We need to nourish ourselves, but we need to cleanse at the same time. Chlorella has the unique ability to bind to poisons and pull them out of the body. And to different kinds of poisons, to chemical poisons and to metal poisons.
Sun chlorella has two major benefits or methods in which it helps our body detoxify. One is chlorophyll. Okay, that's what makes it green. And chlorophyll is to a plant what hemoglobin is to humans. So it is the substance that allows it to take in sunlight, carbon dioxide, and that's how the plant makes energy. And chlorophyll is how it does that. But another benefit of chlorophyll is that it is highly absorbent of toxins. So I like to think of it as nature's natural purifier. When people consume sun chlorella, particularly the chlorophyll component, it is going to absorb all kinds of toxic elements, pretty much anything that's inside a person's body. This can be toxic heavy metals, this can be chemicals. Those are the two main groups. A third group, which people don't think of, are organism toxins. So our bodies are also full of organisms. Some of them are not good for us, and they produce a certain amount of toxins. So sun chlorella is very helpful in assisting our bodies in eliminating those natural toxins that are produced inside of us. Okay, so there are not only toxins that we get externally, there are toxins that we produce internally. Some of it is just part of the natural process.
So if I have a patient who loves to eat fish, or if they're eating kale, or if they're drinking cocoa like I do, or in China, if you're eating a lot of rice, take chlorella with the rice, and it will block the arsenic from being absorbed. I do a lot of testing for heavy metals, mercury, lead, arsenic, cadmium, thallium. I give those people chlorella if they score high. And chlorella has been shown in all of the research done in Japan to bind to these metals and pull them out of the body, and bind to chemicals and pull them out of the body. So the point being, I use it for everybody. There's nobody I can think, even if you have no illness of any kind, but you want to maintain your health at a high level, I would recommend taking chlorella every day. Simply because we are exposed to so many poisons that we need to cleanse constantly, and chlorella helps us to do that.
There have been some studies actually, particularly in pregnant women. And those women who were given sun chlorella, the researchers were able to show that they had less toxins in the mother's breast milk compared to women who were not taking sun chlorella. So this is just one example of research which actually proves the effectiveness of sun chlorella to lower our toxic load.
听了两名医生的介绍呢，不觉得有点纳闷。既然小球藻有这么好，为什么没有更多的医生去推荐它呢？走在预防医学和整体医学前沿的专家认为呢，别着急，面对有毒的世界的问题，越来越多的医生正在意识到小球藻的可贵。
It's going to be detoxification that is going to convince doctors, I think, more than anything else. Because the word is getting out that there are poisons in our food, and the poisons are affecting our health in very powerful ways. And to know that this is a food that can protect us against these poisons and can actually pull them out of the body, I think that is very, very impressive, and doctors more and more are learning about it. Number one, it is in my opinion, the single best whole food in the world. Number two, if you're taking vitamins, it will enhance the effectiveness of the vitamins. Number three, it has the most, probably among the highest antioxidant containing foods in the world. Antioxidants prevent inflammation. Inflammation causes chronic disease, or heart disease, arthritis. If you don't want to get any of those illnesses, then it's a very smart thing to simply take chlorella. And it's so easy to do. All you have to do is just swallow a few pills every day. Or you can get the powder and you could mix it right in with a smoothie if you're making it. It's very easy to take. Beyond all of that, it will protect you against all of the poisons that we have no control over, that we're inhaling and breathing, and we don't even know we're being exposed to. I think it's absolutely even much more essential today than it would have been 100 years ago, because our exposure to poisons today is so far greater than it ever was. It's an international crisis. It's a crisis. It's a health crisis. And chlorella can help us to prevent and reverse this health crisis.
一个国际性的健康危机，我觉得医生并没有夸大其词。小球藻还有更多的好处吗？那请大家继续关注我们以后的节目。好，今天节目就到这里了，我们下期节目再见。